Yo, what's up? Welcome to today's hyperspace hover. In this video we will be hovering over the history of the Darksaber. Let's just jump right into it. To understand why the Darksaber was created, we first have to understand who its creator is. The Darksaber was created by the Mandalorian Tarre Vizsla. Tarre Vizsla was a Force-sensitive Mandalorian born somewhere around 1240 BBY on the planet of Concordia. Yes, 1240 BBY. Tarre Vizsla lived a long time before the Skywalker saga, which happened around 32 BBY to 35 ABY. His home planet, Concordia, is located in the Mandalore sector. Being Force-sensitive, Tarre was the first ever Mandalorian to be inducted into the Jedi Order. Tarre eventually became a Jedi Knight. Instead of creating a typical round-bladed lightsaber, Tarre created a thin, swords-like dark lightsaber, also known as the Darksaber. After Tarre passed around 1000 BBY, not known very specifically, his Darksaber was kept safe at the Jedi Temple of Coruscant. The Darksaber didn't stay safe at the Jedi Temple for long though. When the Old Republic fell, around 1000 BBY, members of House Vizsla stole the Darksaber from the Jedi Temple. They returned it to Mandalore, where they felt it truly belonged. The Darksaber was used by House Vizsla as a symbol of true Mandalorian power. They ruled over Mandalore for almost 1000 years using the Darksaber, with the saber passing from generation to generation. Many people started to believe that the one who wields the Darksaber would be worthy of the throne of Mandalore. During the Clone Wars, Pre Vizsla got his hands on the Darksaber. Pre Vizsla was the governor of Concordia, one of the planets in the Mandalore sector, but was also the leader of the Death Watch. Pre Vizsla planned on overthrowing the Mandalore government led by Duchess Satine with the Darksaber. He came close a couple of times, but never managed to actually overthrow the Mandalorian government. Pre was battled by multiple Jedi in straight lightsaber combat for his attempts to rule Mandalore. For example, he fought against Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano. He wasn't especially skilled at lightsaber combat, but he didn't lose many fights either. It all changed when Pre Vizsla met with Darth Maul and his brother Savage Opress. Maul had gathered a small alliance of independent clans as his greed for power had driven him to. Pre Vizsla saw his opportunity to finally succeed at overthrowing the Mandalore government and decided to join Maul's alliance. Together with Maul and Savage, Pre Vizsla staged a fake attack on the capital, in which Pre Vizsla arrested Maul and Savage. Pre Vizsla and the Death Watch were seen as heroes by the Mandalorian people. Not much later, Pre Vizsla was elected as the ruler of Mandalore by the Mandalorian people. After Maul and Savage helped Pre Vizsla betrayed them and imprisoned them. Of course, Maul and Savage escaped the prison. What did he expect from two Sith? Maul and his alliance came back to Mandalore to avenge Pre Vizsla. He and Pre Vizsla fought against each other in straight lightsaber to Darksaber combat. Despite great effort from Pre Vizsla, Maul won the duel and thus took the Darksaber from him. Maul now had become the leader of Mandalore. Well, he gave himself that title. But because Maul was not a Mandalorian, many followers of Pre Vizsla refused to follow Maul's lead, such as Bo-Katan. Maul was in possession of the Darksaber for some time. He fought several fights with it, such as his fight against Darth Sidious when his brother Savage was killed, but ultimately lost his Darksaber on the planet of Dathomir. After Maul was defeated, he left the Darksaber on Dathomir with the Night Sisters. Many years later, Maul returned to Dathomir with Ezra Bridger. He and Ezra returned to the Night Sisters to melt the Jedi and Sith holocrons together, revealing the information they desired most to both of them. Canon and Sabine Wren followed Ezra closely, as they didn't want Ezra to go with Maul. When they arrived in the caves of the Night Sisters, one of the sisters possessed Sabine. Her possessed self took the Darksaber and threatened to kill Ezra with it. When Ezra freed Sabine from the possession, Maul was long gone by now. Sabine kept the Darksaber with her, knowing the tale that comes with it. She was shortly trained by Canon and Ezra. She gave up on the Darksaber not long after, as she didn't feel worthy of the saber. Sabine met with Bo-Katan, one of the people who betrayed Maul. Sabine felt like Bo-Katan was worthy enough to wield the Darksaber, but Bo-Katan turned the offer down. She refused to take it as she felt like the Darksaber wouldn't give her the power as long as it didn't have a good story with it. Being given the Darksaber wasn't really a heroic story. Sabine eventually persuaded Bo-Katan to take it after showing that many other clans would be willing to follow her. She now accepted the Darksaber to have a symbol of power and unity of Mandalore on her side. Not much is known about Bo-Katan's time wielding the Darksaber. One of the things that we do know is that she lost the Darksaber in some way or form to Moff Gideon during the Great Purge of Mandalore. I think it's safe to state that Moff Gideon led the Purge of Mandalore, or at least was of very high rank within the attack. We also know that Bo-Katan lost the Darksaber during the Purge, so it's safe to say that Bo-Katan lost it to Gideon. We don't know if it was in combat or if he just stole it from her, but at least it wasn't a deadly conflict. Gideon later used the Darksaber in his time as the leader of one of the remnants of the Empire. He first used it on screen to saw his TIE fighter open, but also, spoiler alert, used it in combat against Din Djarin. In the finale of Season 2 of The Mandalorian, Din Djarin defeated Moff Gideon in combat with his Beskar spear. After he defeated him, he took the Darksaber from Gideon. And this is where the story of the Darksaber ends for now. We don't know what happened to the Darksaber after Season 2 of The Mandalorian, but I'm sure Season 3 will give us more insights on that topic. Who will the Darksaber go to next? Will Din just keep it? We know he wanted to give it to Bo-Katan, but she denied it, as she once again felt like the story wasn't heroic enough for her to be worthy to wield the Darksaber. Will Din maybe get greedy and does he decide to keep the Darksaber for himself? He did just defeat Gideon for it, so the story would be heroic and he would make candidate for the Mandalorian throne if he would like to, although Mandalore was almost completely destroyed by the Empire. He or someone else could use it to rule over the Mandalorian people and not per se over Mandalore itself. Will Boba Fett maybe try to take the Darksaber from Mando? A lot of possibilities are open for the future of the Darksaber. It's only a matter of time until we know. Well, I hope you now understand a bit better what the Darksaber is and why it's so significant in Mandalorian history. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe if you want to hover over some more of these stories each Saturday. Well, that's it. I'm out.